that we try to do this video or this episode that we are entitling One Down, Three to Go, the Floyd murders. Our system crashed, so we weren't able to get it, and that's a shame because we got a lot of good conversation from people. So we're going to do it again. Nice, quick 15-minute episode to recap everything that we talked about in the first episode. So let's begin. Welcome to Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by The Bully Exposed, and 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. Also brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. I want to say hello to Gisbart and Zbidar. I hope I'm pronouncing your names right. Thank you for joining the show. Remember, guys, to smash that heart. Show us some love, whether you're watching this in the live version or the recorded version. I also want to let you guys know that if you're into yoga or if you want to catch our show on YouTube, just simply go to Nonfiction Filmmaker. And, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, thebullyexposed.com needs you to subscribe to their YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe to the bullyexposed.com YouTube channel. Nonfiction Filmmaker, that's the name of it. Nonfiction Filmmaker. Please, as you guys may know, when you get 1,000 followers, then the commercials that they place on the account, the Bully Exposed can get that, and they can use that money to bring awareness about bullying. So if you support us, if you like what we're doing, please go to Nonfiction Filmmaker at YouTube and follow thebullyexposed.com at Nonfiction Filmmaker. All right, so let's talk. Okay, so you guys may know or may not know that Derek was, and I'm only going to say his first name, guys, was charged on all accounts. Let's read those accounts off. I'm sorry, lost what I was looking for here. Here we go. Count 1, guilty, second-degree murder. Now that's unintentional killing while committing a felony. So apparently it's a felony to police brutality, and that's what a good percentage of cops are doing out there. So that's bad. Count 2, guilty, third-degree murder. An extreme dangerous act in inciting a deprived mind. And let's see. Count 3, second-degree manslaughter. That's culpable negligence creating an unreasonable risk. So that's what Derek was charged of, and he's charged on all accounts. So when we first had the show, we had the number one question we had was, what's going to happen to the other three guys? Well, I believe they're going to try them all together. It's really a shame every time I think of this, because, you know, I'm willing to bet my Instagram career, guys, all right, on the fact that the two, I believe is how you pronounce his name, and Jay Alexander. First, let's talk about them. So 2, his nationality is a nationality that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it's spelled H-U-N-G. And his people, Ad Hassan7, thank you for joining the show. Smash that heart, whether you're watching this live or recorded, guys. Smash that heart. So he is of a nationality that has, for 200 years, has not had a country, and it's because the Chinese took it away from them, from what I read. So he should have an understanding of what's going on, and he should understand that he shouldn't be committing police brutality. And the other gentleman, Jay Alexander, his mom is Caucasian and his dad is Nigerian. So him too, he should have an understanding. I can't help to think that maybe these two guys wanted to stop Derek. Probably didn't want to work with Derek. But you can't speak up, because if you speak up, it's a death wish for you. It's a death wish for your career, I should say, for your career as a police officer. And that's a shame that things are like that. You know, we spoke to a police officer on the day that we did this show, 2 days ago, and he said that he every time he speaks up, he's the one that gets in trouble. You know, so if he speaks up about speaking up, hey Pico, and there's Pico, our police officer. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do a quick show about the same topic because unfortunately Instagram crashed, Pico. But if you want to say it, you can. I was just explaining what you said on the show about that you don't want to speak up when you see bad things happening at your station, because when you speak up, you're the one that gets in trouble. I hope I didn't misquote you, but if you want to chime in and say something, please speak up. So I got some tea here, some peppermint tea, so I'm drinking that. So we're gonna go over real quick. So I also interviewed a cop off the record. That means I was not allowed to record it. He would not. That's how scared he was. He would not allow me to record our interview. But he told me that one time when he was on duty, they went to a home that was being burglarized. And when they got to the home, they realized that it was the home of a fellow cop that they worked with. So what they did was they called the cop and they said, hey, you know, this guy just broke into your home. And the cop said, keep him there. Keep him there. The cop came over to his house, dragged the cop inside, or dragged the burglar inside of the house and beat him up. And so this cop said, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to tell my captain what he did. And as soon as he did that, he maybe a couple of days later, I don't know how long it took, he went into his locker to get dressed for work, and there was a dead rat inside of his locker. And they kept harassing him and bullying him until finally they were able to fire him. And now, for speaking up, this good cop is out of a job. And what happens? We got cops like Derek and Thomas and Alexander and two who are infested in these jobs. One other conversation I had with a cop is that she told me that whenever her captain puts her together with cops that are like Derek, she says, nope, I'm not going out. And she's lucky that she's got the seniority and she's got the relationship with her captain that she's able to say, nope, put me with someone else. I'm not going out with him. And she told me that the reason why she doesn't go out with cops like that is because she doesn't want to end up like these three cops. Like I said, I think these three cops wanted to stop Derek, but you can't because it's a death wish. And that's what she says. She says, no, I'm not going to end up like these three cops and end up fighting for my life or my career for something that some other knucklehead did. And that's what it comes down to. And Pico said, yes, that I was right, that I quoted him right. So I'm glad that I quoted him right. So how are we going to resolve this? How are we going to solve this? Let me tell you how we're going to solve this. All nations, okay? Not just America. This is not just an American problem. This is a problem everywhere. We have to create a platform where cops can speak up and say, hey, I got a Derek. We got a Derek in our station, and we need to get rid of this Derek. and start an investigation without Derek's knowledge, of course, and get him fired. So many, I know that maybe some cops are going to speak up and say you don't know what it's like. Now, I wasn't a cop, but I worked for the United States Postal Service, and it was the same atmosphere. The Postal Service would always, if you see something, say something. If you see something, and every organization has that. Firemen, cops, doctors, they all have it. If you see something, say something. But when you say something, then you get punished. Because the atmosphere is that you don't squeal or you don't rat out your fellow worker. And that's an atmosphere that has to stop. I'm hoping and praying that this administration in the United States, Madam Vice President, I'm talking to you. Uncle Joe Biden, I'm talking to you. Okay, you need to listen, because I know it's impossible to make a platform, because you can make a platform, but it's going to get corrupt with cops or with, firemen or with postal carriers that want to keep the status quo. But you have to learn to listen when someone reaches out to you, and you have to invite people to reach out to you, Madam Vice President and Mr. President. You have to do, when you do your State of the Union, or when you do speeches on the internet, or wherever you do them in the news, you have to tell people, if you've been wronged, reach out to my administration and listen and help these people that come and tell you, I'm a police officer at whatever state they're in. I witnessed, wrongdoing by a cop that's like Derek, and I was fired from my job. And you need to help those people out, no matter who gets in trouble, because it's the chief of police that allows things to go on like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure that if this cop spoke up, that particular cop that I was talking about, if he spoke up about the injustice, he definitely spoke up and said, I found a rat. I found a rat in my locker, which is a big sign, which is basically saying that the person is a squealer, is a rat, it did something bad, and that, the chief of police should have spoke up, and the chief of police should have handled that and told, if I was the chief of police, okay, what would I do? Okay, if I was the chief of police, I would have had a world, I don't know how to put it, not just a precinct, not just one station, or probably a precinct-wide video. I would have done a precinct-wide video that everyone has to sign. It's mandated that you have to sign that you watched this video. And I would say, on such and such date, there was a rat put into an officer, don't have to name officers, and don't have to name the station, an officer's locker, because he spoke up against the injustice in the station. If you did this, stop. Do not retaliate. You will be instantly terminated. That's what I would say. You will be instantly terminated. Zero tolerance if you retaliate against someone that spoke up against you. If we find you, and you're police officers, you can't find a police officer that did that. You can't figure it out. That's your job. Your job is to figure out the crimes that occur. So if you can't do it, you're in the wrong job. That, period, end of discussion. You got no argument for that. So you're the police department. You find out who did it, you terminate them, period. And most likely, it's going to be the cop who the person spoke up against. And that's the first place you look, obviously. When a person is murdered, if that person's married, the first person they go to is the spouse, right? Or they go to the children. They go to people close to them. So that's the same situation. If a cop is saying that he's being mistreated, and you find out, well, he just said something about a police officer, then that's the first place you have to look. And so let's use our heads. And that's the way I look at it. And that's all I have to say. And that's all I'm going to say about this subject, because I don't want the internet to crash. But I want to thank Pico. I want to thank the police officers that allow me to interview them, whether it was, you know, recorded or not recorded. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the cops that spoke to me about this subject, with me about this subject, and told me their point of view. But it is a serious problem, and as far as America is concerned, the only way to do it is to build that platform where cops can feel trusted to come and give and tell, see something, say something, and they are able to say something, and they're able to say Derek is a bad cop. We need to get rid of him. Well, there is one more thing I want to say. All too often, Pico says he likes the music. Thank you, Pico. Thank you for smashing that heart. Whether you're watching this live or recorded, please smash that heart and give your comments. I want to hear what you think. So, real quick, these kind of things happen because institutions are more concerned with covering stories like this and not letting them get out for fear of being sued. But you don't understand. When you find a cop like Derek, when he does something bad, arrest him. If it's something that you can arrest him for, like a murder, arrest him, get rid of him, pay the family when they sue, and get it all over with. I think it's more money to keep trying to cover it up. I think you spend more money trying to cover up situations like this than you do if you just put it out there and say, we're human. We hired Derek. He's a bad cop. He's no longer a cop. He's fired, whatever it may be, than to try and cover it up, and that's a shame. And that's my thoughts for it all. And again, thank you to everyone that helped make this a story. It's very interesting that we had to make this story more than one day. It actually lasted 3 days. So I thank everyone that came and gave their opinion. But Live Feed is brought to you by The Bully Exposed, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. And brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. And remember, guys, please go to the Bully Exposed YouTube page at nonfiction filmmaker, and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you're notified every time this show goes up on YouTube. You might prefer YouTube better than Instagram, so be sure to follow them, check them out. Remember, anyone can wear the crown, anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another and have a great day. Bye now.